So like today is a pretty nice day with like 14 degrees or like let's say okay even 5 degrees Celsius autumn day, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Suddenly you wake up in the morning the next day, you have a cup of coffee and then you just decide not to look at the weather. Okay,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
you just don't. And then you have to take the trash outside. So I put on my sarong and I walk outside, and it's a bloody minus 6 degrees Celsius, and I start bleeding from my nose, and my ball starts to freeze. you know, this actually happens. Okay, now in Sri Lanka.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. This is TeekoTalks Season 2, the Stories series. Joining us are guests from countries all over the world where they share their experiences about what life has been like over there in general and in comparison to Sri Lanka. And this episode, that is the sixth installment of this series, we are going north. Now, before we begin, this is a friendly reminder to rate this podcast on whatever platform that you're listening to this on. And if you enjoyed this show, maybe drop a review to help get us featured so that more people can discover this show. And today, joining us is Hemaka Goonetilleke, all the way from Finland. Welcome to the show, bro.
Hello.
So, Hemaka is he was born and raised in Colombo, but is currently studying a bachelor's degree in energy and environmental engineering in Finland. He is also a nature lover and an amateur conservationist, and he's a crazy photographer. You can go check out his page on Instagram, that is Hemaka Goonetilleke. He has some crazy shots over there, so make sure you check it out. I'll link it in the description below. So that's that. And we are today going to talk about Finland. That is the land of 1,000 lakes. Am I right, bro?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, as usual, I start off every podcast with this question, especially for Sri Lankans living abroad. What was the experience like moving into Finland? Because it's it's something that, personally speaking, it's not a country that I know a lot of people move to. It's out of the way, it's rare, and it's mysterious, I would say. So, what was it like moving in?
Well, moving into Finland. Let me see. Like, okay, so I moving in is a whole process. So let me just break it down into three parts so that it's easy for you to understand.
Right.
Uh, the preparation to move, actually going there,
Mm-hmm.
and then starting to live there. Okay, those are the three phases. So I'll kind of so it's kind of easy to understand because kind of like all fumbly to be honest for me. Even I think all of it because it was quite a rush.
Mm.
Uh, the preparation for it took almost a year before I came.
Right.
Uh, when I was searching for universities and things.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I read about things about the culture and the people and how universities are and the cost of living and things like this. Because
Mm-hmm.
usually I like to be organized with my stuff. I
Right.
mean, not like completely organized, but at least my dad forces me to. Right?
Yes.
So, and if I don't be on point, let's just say that let's just not talk about it actually. No problem. Okay.
I can
Uh,
understand no Sri Lankan dads.
yes, exactly. So preparing to go, uh, I was expecting, I wasn't actually expecting anything a lot, but actually, like, of course, like the antisocial nature and things like this,
Mm-hmm.
I read about it, but I thought, with every stereotype, the media tends to blow things out of proportion sometimes.
Right.
So I thought, okay, it must be like this, but it's not as bad as they say, probably. Uh, so also the type of clothes and things like this is very different because we have very harsh winters here.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, I kind of prepared properly for it when I came because it was closing towards winter. And then moving to Finland, Uh, I think by this stage I was kind of excited, obviously, because I'm going to start my life alone. Uh, Apart from that, I've already kind of like mentally prepared myself to be alone, like, without my family. It was my first time going away from home, like, completely, and kind of trying to survive on my own, without my parents and family members nearby. So by this time, I was, I really needed to know that I really needed to get my things together. So once I came here, mm, it was all a rush because I got one month late to university.
Uh,
So I've already missed a couple of my classes, actually quite a bit. I didn't have a mobile phone, a mobile number. Excuse me. I
right.
didn't have a bank account. I didn't have my apartment. Not that I didn't have an apartment, but I had to get my keys and everything and sorted out. I had to move in.
Mm-hmm.
So to be honest, like, when I look back at it, I can't really say what I felt at that moment, except a rush of adrenaline. And because it was such a
Rush.
it was so fast, honestly. Like, I moved in just I landed here on Thursday. I started school on Friday. On Thursday I got into the apartment. uh I just didn't even have time properly to unpack or anything, and I went to school.
That you landed on
So
Thursday and you went to school on Friday. What? You had like
yeah,
half a day to
and
settle
that
in.
also and that also yeah. I want to tell you something else. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking bad about Finland or my university, but about these people specifically. So we had
Right.
people called student tutors. I had four of them apparently, but I've never met them or talked to them properly. I had a student counselor. I was always talking to her, and there's another person called the social counselor. So many bloody people like this. Uh, but none of them really helped me properly. Or everything has
Right.
to be done alone. Um, so when I came, uh, until so yes, until 4 months went past, I hadn't met a single student counselor.
For
So
4 months.
everything that I had to do is I did it alone,
Right.
including my bank accounts, uh, and all that stuff.
You basically
So
settled in by yourself.
in a way, yeah, essentially. But of course, like, I was quite fortunate
Mm-hmm.
that actually my parents and my sister also traveled to Finland with me, but they
Right.
only stayed for like what, 4 days or 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and they went to Helsinki after just seeing me off. So they were not close to me, and then they came back and then they flew out.
Right. Right.
I
So
think I only
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So you're in Tampere, right?
I'm in Tampere, exactly.
Tampere. So Tampere is a city that is north of Helsinki. That's the capital of Finland.
Northwest, yeah, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, northwest. Yeah.
Mm.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah, it's 200 kilometers exactly from
Mm-hmm.
Helsinki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. uh I think there's a big big rush of adrenaline for me because I had to get things sorted out
Mm-hmm.
very fast, and and I hadn't enrolled for my classes because I didn't come here. They hadn't put me into the system. So I
Okay.
had to go to I had this piece of paper that
Uh-huh.
said these are my classes for this week. My orientation week, no, orientation week was over long
Mm-hmm.
time, 1 month ago. So my classes were going on. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even have that. I didn't have chances to make friends with anyone because they've
Mm-hmm.
already formed their own cliques, gone clubbing, done all that stuff. It's
Uh-huh.
already finished. So I didn't have time for that. Um,
Were you the only Sri Lankan that moved, or only foreigner at that time at the batch?
Only foreigner, no. Only Sri Lankan, yes.
Right.
Foreigner, quite many people actually. I have people from Italy,
Mm-hmm.
Russia, Germany. No, not Germany, France.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but there's a dude who's half Irish. He's from Ireland, I guess you can say that.
But I noticed that you're not
Half Finnish,
mentioning
half
any Asian
Irish.
countries.
No, 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 no. Wait, I didn't finish. There's a Vietnamese. There are three Vietnamese. There was
Uh-huh.
an Indian, but the guy dropped out, so I don't know. I never
Uh-huh.
made friends with him. Uh, Estonian,
Hmm.
uh, Chinese,
Right.
there's, from Kosovo. That's not really a country, but it's from the Baltics. But yeah,
Right.
it's not really a country because like the European Union and the world, they don't recognize Kosovo as a country, but they recognize themselves as a country. It's a very new country. Yeah, I didn't know about it until I met her,
Until
but
you
yeah.
met him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. But again,
So
I noticed you didn't
there are
mention any African
there
countries.
yeah, there was a dude from Ghana. He got deported. I forgot about him.
He got deported.
I mean, the only thing the guy was doing is smoking up and just having fun. So
Is there a general trend of less black people in Finland compared to other?
no, not. I mean, yeah. I mean, I mean, consider if you consider Australia or the United Kingdom or America for that matter, where Sri Lankans are very used to going, say perhaps Malaysia,
Mhm.
the amount of international students are considerably less. But there are many black people here.
Right. That's interesting.
Can I say
And
black people? I'm sorry, people from Africa here. Let's just call it that.
yeah, but it's uh, dangerous waters, no.
Yeah, amme.
So there are a few things, like a few specific points about moving into a country in Europe, and let's not say especially Finland, that some of my listeners were curious about. How did you get used
Okay.
to toilet paper?
Oh no, we don't have that problem here. It's a land of thousand lakes, and we have enough and more water here. Thank God. That is like a God-given gift, to be honest. uh, I will never get used to toilet paper, and I don't want to.
I,
Let's just keep it at that.
I'm surprised. I mean, I'm honestly surprised at that. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
no.
that's good to know.
They have bidets
That's great. That's great.
and bidets. Yeah.
And so the thing is, we as Sri Lankans, like we spoke
Mm,
before, we generally tend to bunch up Norway, Sweden, Finland together as one bunch, the Scandinavian
mm,
countries. But
mm,
you explained to me that that's not the case, right?
mm, mm.
Finland is very different from Norway and Sweden. Very.
Uh, well, w- please define what the difference you're talking about is exactly.
Okay, so I'll just I'll just leave it to you, man. Just tell us why do you
Uh,
think Finland is different from Norway and Sweden? Like
okay.
you said it's not
First,
part of the Scandinavian region.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not part of the Scandinavian region because let's go into a geography lesson. So the reason why these countries are called Scandinavian countries is because they lie on this bedrock that's called the Scandinavian plateau,
Hmm.
right? Forgive me if I use the wrong terms for topography, but whatever. You get the idea, right? It's laying on something called Scandinavia.
Scandinavia.
So Finland is not a part of this because Finland is not on top of this
Mm.
thing, right? It's not. But it
Hmm.
is Nordic. And if you ask me why they're called Nordic, I'm sure my Finnish friends are going to shoot me in the head, but I don't know. Right? Not yet. I can't
Not
remember
yet.
at
Not
least.
yet.
Not yet. I don't know. They call it the Nordics, maybe because it's from the north. I don't know. Uh, yeah. So difference between Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Firstly, I can't speak for all of Norway and Sweden
Hmm.
because I haven't been there yet.
Hmm.
Hoping to go, but from what I've heard from the Finns, different language, different culture,
Hmm.
uh, different food,
Right.
Yeah, this is
Right.
what I've
The
heard.
main the main difference is that's yeah.
Yeah, I'm just listing out. Uh, Same currency though.
And what
Of
is the
course.
currency?
It's euro.
All right.
Yeah. Oh no, except no. I messed up.
Uh-huh.
Norway, I'm not sure. Yeah, Norway is euro, but
Okay.
Sweden it's krona.
Right. That sounds very familiar.
They don't use the euro. Mm.
But
They use
Finns,
their
they
own
use
currency.
the Finns use the
Euro,
euro. Yeah,
euro. Yeah.
that's great.
And Finland population is much smaller. It's just
Mm-hmm.
5.5 million people.
Mm-hmm.
The environment is quite different, I think. You kind of find the same kind of trees because it's the northern hemisphere, but when it comes to like the land and everything, it's different because you find fjords, and fjords are, correct me if I'm wrong again, I'm probably am wrong. Maybe I will learn it once I go to Norway, but this is as far as I know.
Right.
There are two mountains,
Uh-huh.
and in between the mountains there is a water body, so
Right.
this is called a fjord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we don't have that here in Finland. We don't. uh,
You guys don't have
as
mountains
a
in Finland.
As a matter of fact, we don't. We don't. No, no mountains, bro. No, nothing.
Yeah, but I think
Um,
there's one thing that you obviously unites all three, and the first thing that comes to mind when you say Finland, Norway, Sweden, any northern country is probably the weather, the snow, and
mm,
the weather. So, and we from Sri Lanka, right, from a tropical country like Sri Lanka, and moving in there, the first exposure to that weather, what was it like? I see the reaction on your face.
uh, well, when I came here, it was autumn. So autumn is basically, well, at least in that year, started mid September. Uh, like around now, actually. Like right now, it's also autumn.
Right.
So in essence, it was dark,
Mm-hmm.
colorful, damp, and cold. Yes. That's the reaction I had. Ultimate confusion.
How do you
But
even put those all of those together?
yeah, exactly. So it's actually pretty, when I say dark, it's cloudy. So autumn in Finland is like when when rain is about to start, when there's like a thunderstorm that's going to happen soon.
Okay.
It becomes like dark and cloudy in Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a little bit darker than that is autumn here, from morning till evening.
All day, every
Okay,
day.
although every day, but some days you have very beautiful sunlight
Uh-huh.
and very beautiful sunset. Like yesterday, it was very beautiful, but today, excuse me, pretty dark and cold,
Mm-hmm.
windy,
Mm-hmm.
and fortunately, we didn't have that much rain this time. And when I say rain, it's not like the thunderstorms we have in Sri Lanka, where the rain tries to kill you. Uh, it's 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 like drizzling,
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's what rain is like. As at least that's what I have come across over here so far. So that's autumn, and coming here, it is I expected autumn to be this like super beautiful thing, like what we see in photographs and stuff.
Orange everywhere. Leaves on the ground.
It's really beautiful. The trees are really beautiful, but the
Mm-hmm.
sky really screws it up. Because if there is sunlight, if you're fortunate enough to be on outside on a day that
Mm-hmm.
there is sunlight in autumn, bro, it's very beautiful,
Right.
especially when it reflects off the water and everything with the
Right.
lakes. It's very beautiful. But unfortunately, when it gets towards late autumn, like it's always dark. And hopefully there's no rain, but if there's rain, it's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's how it was. And it's cold. When I say cold, it was like when I came here, it was already 14 degrees. Uh, so for us Sri Lankans, 14 degrees is very cold.
Mm-hmm.
That's like cold as Norelia gets on a bad day.
Yeah.
This is a good day in Finland. 14 degrees is a good day because it actually drops down to -2, -3 sometimes in autumn.
Right.
In in bloody autumn.
And you
Okay,
haven't
this is
yet
not
come
even
to
winter.
winter. That's the
When it
thing.
comes to winter, it goes well beyond -15 degrees, or it might even go to
Right.
-35 sometimes, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So actually, my first winter, Finland
Mm-hmm.
treated me uh well,
Huh?
I would say, uh in terms of the cold,
Mm-hmm.
but in terms of the weather, like how it looks like and everything, absolutely hell. There is no other way I would describe it rather than like, you know, have you read all these old like Charles Dickens books?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so like when you read I mean, this is such a British example. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but this is what comes to my mind.
Right.
So you think about Scotland Yard.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of about Scotland Yard? Like
Sherlock Holmes.
yeah, okay, sorry,
Right.
Sherlock Holmes, yeah, Scotland Yard. Like
Mm-hmm.
you picture this like really dark and gloomy
Right,
place, right?
right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
This is exactly what it is like when there's no snow in winter.
When there is no
From
snow.
morning till
Okay.
evening, when there's no
Oh,
snow. So
okay.
the first winter I had didn't have that much snow at all.
Mm-hmm.
One word, depressing.
Damn.
Dark leaves have gone off the trees,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just like
Empty.
it's like dead, man. Like
Dead.
it's dead. Everything is dead. No grass,
Uh-huh.
nothing green, absolutely nothing. It's dark brown,
Mm-hmm.
gray,
Mm-hmm.
and black.
Those are the colors.
Those are the colors. And
Oh.
mist, like a lot of mist if there's no snow.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody
Oh.
cold. Like there were days that I you can't see more than 100 meters because of the mist.
Right.
Like it's all so gloomy and stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah, it,
I have this really this picture of this cobblestone road with like this dark, like this thing alleyway kind of thing
mm,
with this just street lamps and people walking with coats with hunched down shoulders and you
yeah.
know hats, top
Yeah.
hats.
I mean, top hats. Of course, no one wears that here. But like, definitely some like
I
beanie
get
or
the
something. Yeah,
I get the gist
yeah,
of it, and
yeah. That's how it is.
that is without snow.
That is without snow. So like first winter, it wasn't that good.
Hmm.
And it wasn't that cold, to be honest. And I was like, "Wait, maybe they're bluffing about the whole, it gets so cold." But then the next winter happened, and I was like,
They didn't bluff enough.
"No, yeah, exactly." So it was pretty bad. But the colder it gets, actually, the more beautiful it becomes with the snow.
Right.
So the winter becomes bearable.
The
Yeah,
aesthetics keep it bearable.
yes, it does. It really does. But then I have some friends who actually like the whole dark, no snow winter.
You
They
each
like
his
it,
own.
and Emagele muito. I can't much. I honestly I can't.
Mhm. And especially it's more like if you're coming from a country like Sri Lanka, right?
Mm.
With it's just today's weather, man, was so bright I couldn't sleep a wink in the afternoon. I'm telling
Uh-huh.
you, it was like light all over the place. Like you cover yourself with the bed sheets. It was too bright. I'm like, bro, what? Like
Yeah.
so damn sunny today, man. And yesterday was the total opposite. It was like a windstorm, like a I don't know, raining the whole day.
Okay.
That's
Damn.
Sri Lankan weather. Nothing
Mm.
to say about. And
But
that
it's actually more predictable than Finland.
right, that is okay.
Yeah.
So like you can't predict what it would be like in Finland. Like
Bro, the temperature drops, man. Oh, Machan.
Damn.
Like, this is quite an extreme example and it doesn't happen every day,
Mm-hmm.
but it has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
For us, I don't think Finns really feel it, to be honest. But so like today is a pretty nice day with like 14 degrees or like let's say okay even 5 degrees Celsius, autumn day, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Suddenly you wake up in the morning the next day, you have a cup of coffee, and then you just decide not to look at the weather. Okay,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
you just don't. And then you have to take the trash outside. So I put on my sarong and I walk outside, and it's a bloody minus 6 degrees Celsius, and I start bleeding from my nose, and my ball starts to freeze. you know, this actually happens. Okay, now in Sri Lanka, the worst thing that will happen is either you will burn and then you walk back inside,
Yeah.
or you get wet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
not a big problem. It's not.
This
It
is
doesn't
a.
hurt you. This weather is trying to kill you, man. Because when it goes below 0 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's no snow, this is the worst thing. Most people you've talked to probably said about it if
Mm-hmm.
they have lived through pretty harsh winters, sub-zero temperatures.
Yeah.
Uh, there's moisture on the floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the day before.
Yeah.
It becomes ice and you can't see it. So
I
you
think.
slip and fall and you break your head and die. Okay.
My God.
Yeah. So it's this thin layer, and yeah, it has happened.
My God.
Yeah.
It's a health hazard, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. Especially when you have an exam that you got a late to go to. My God.
It seems
And you
like
can't
some.
run also. Yeah, you can't run also to the bus. You go like this.
My God, bro, you're telling me a story from your life.
Yeah. I mean, it's legit, man. It happens. You see people like it's students, like,
Mm-hmm.
trying to run across this and falling down.
Right.
Like now, I'll send you some videos sometime when I bet someone's gonna fall down. First year students don't know shit about it. Screwed. Someone's going to fall.
Learned it the hard way.
Yeah.
God. And since we're talking about students, and you said you were the only Sri Lankan there, what was it like, without a peer?
Uh,
In
okay.
your batch, right? In your batch, you were the only Sri
In
Lankan.
my batch, yeah.
Yeah.
In my university, yeah.
In your entire university, only Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
My God. What is it like?
Uh,
What is it like? What are the people like? First thing is, what are the people like? The Finns itself, and what is it like for you as a Sri Lankan in Finland?
Sri Lankan in Finland?